Alright, this is video number 1 for Chapter 7. We're talking about marketing information. Now, the two major elements that deal with marketing information are shown on this slide. The first one is Marketing Information Systems, or commonly referred to as MIS, and the second is Marketing Research. MIS, the job of MIS is to make sure that information is available and accessible, and help provide some tools potentially to help analyze that information. Now, marketing research, it's not market research, this is marketing research. What the goal of the marketing research is to help develop and analyze new information about a potential market that's out there. And many firms, they rely on marketing research. Some of them do it in-house through their own employees, and then others will pay other companies, other businesses to do the research for them. Now, with MIS, as I mentioned before, the job or the responsibility of MIS is to help make information available and accessible. Now, there's a lot of information that is now available to people. There's information available through various sources as well, but there's just so much information out there that is what's referred to as this big data. All right, this explosion of information is referred to as big data, or data that's just too large, too complex to work with just these basic database type tools that we have. So a lot of the data is stored in what's called a data warehouse. Okay, the data warehouse is just simply where databases are stored so that when somebody needs them, they're available for them. With this also, within a company, a lot of companies use what's called an intranet. Okay, not internet, but an intranet, which is simply the system for linking the computers within the company so that if you need something from somewhere else, you'll have quick and easy access to that information. Marketing managers may also use what's called a decision support system, sometimes referred to as DSS. And the decision support system is a program that makes it easy to find, to get, and to use the information that you're looking for. Sometimes they'll have marketing dashboards, and the dashboards simply show like an up-to-the-minute display of the data and make it in a format that's easy to read and easy to understand, similar to what a car's dashboard is for when you're driving. Now, this slide just shows the typical diagram of what MIS and all the components and how they fit together to meet the needs and the wants of a manager. The information sources can include anything like internal data, sales figures, for example, from within the company, external data sources, which could be statistical information. You can get information from governmental websites and all over. And all of this information is placed into databases, which is considered the data warehouse or sometimes marketing warehouse, depending upon who you're talking to. And the databases are used to help help marketing managers use their marketing models and any other decision support systems to ask questions. And hopefully all of this information then will provide the answers to those questions to help guide them in the direction that they need to go. With all the additional information, you as a marketing manager would then potentially make, or should hopefully make, better decisions and wiser decisions, which result in positive outcomes for the company. So that's kind of just the whole flow of things in this marketing information system. To get good quality and effective research, there needs to be cooperation between researchers and managers. A lot of times there tends to be a conflict between them. It's hard to get good working relationship between researchers and managers because the management is administration level, the researchers are on a lower level, and they tend to just not have the same viewpoints. Marketing managers need the research because they have problems that need to be fixed. Sometimes they can't really explain it to the researchers exactly what it is that they're looking for, the information that they need, and the information that comes back is not exactly what they're looking for. And then on the flip side of that, the researchers who are really, really good at the technical side of things may not completely understand what decisions and problems are facing the managers, so there tends to be some sort of a conflict or a miss between these two sides here. Alright, the scientific approach to marketing research. These 5 steps that you see on this slide here are something that you're definitely going to want to know and try to remember the order of these and kind of what goes on in each of these. Now, a scientific method is just simply a decision-making approach that is orderly, that is objective, and it tests your ideas before you actually put them into action. It's a way to make sure that what you're doing makes sense and will do what you're hoping it'll do. With the scientific method also, one thing in here is a hypothesis, and the hypothesis is just an educated guess. It is what it is. And your educated guess, just not random guessing, remember, an educated guess about what likely causes and effects can be measured, again, objectively, to help eliminate any kind of unnecessary risk-taking. You want to try to eliminate the risk. You want to try to make sure that everything is objective and measurable so that you can determine if it's a success or not. Now, the marketing research process itself, as I mentioned, is a 5-step process. Step number 1 is defining the problem, which is where the manager, researcher, and anybody else who's in on this needs to determine the key issues that are requiring the information. What information do you need to gather, and what are the issues that need to be resolved. Right, step number 2 is analyzing the situation, and this is where you do an informal study of the information that is already available. There's going to be some information somewhere that you'll be able to find and be able to use, right, and this is where you're just doing an informal study of that particular information. Step number 3 is getting problem-specific data. This is where you're collecting data that is specialized, unique, customized for what it is that you're trying to solve, the problem that you are trying to solve. Okay, that unique situation. Step number 4, interpreting the data. This is the process of actually understanding what the data means, right? Because you can read it all and it might not make any sense to you whatsoever. So it's taking all of the raw data and transforming it into useful information that is easily understood. Step 5, solving the problem. This is where you give your recommendations to your higher ups, whether it be a manager or somebody even above that, and they are then responsible for either implementing those recommendations or declining those recommendations. Alright, and the last portion of this video is just going to be talking about step number 1, making sure that with defining the problem, you are looking at the problem and not just a symptom of the problem. What I like to do is equate this to a medical condition. You know, a fever is a symptom. The fever itself is not the problem. The fever is showing that there is a bigger problem someplace else. What you need to do is not try to just fix the symptom, not just try to take Advil or something, Tylenol, to reduce your fever. The fever is telling you that there is something wrong someplace, and what you need to do is fix that particular problem. And so you want to make sure that you are solving the problem, not just going after the symptoms here. And that is the main point on this particular slide here. This will be the end of the first video, and then you can move on to video number 2.